Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Smart Poker YouTube channel. Another episode of Sundazed Confused. This is number 144. I got the flu. I don't know if it's coming through in my voice, but I feel like shit. My wife's still recovering from surgery, so she won't be joining me today, but she is in the process of getting better and tells everybody hello. I'll get the link up there. You know what? I've been sick for a couple days, man. I'm bored out of my mind sitting here in the house. It's snowing like crazy, and I'm just going stir crazy in the house here, man. So I figured I could sit around and be sick and stare at the TV or the walls, or I could come on here and hang out and be sick, right? There's the link if anybody wants to join. I think a lot of people weren't expecting us to show up today, so we'll see how it goes. Here's Mad Dog, Maine, Dad, Nova, Double J, Galaxies, Flower Felons, Rolling Smoke. Speaking of Rolling Smoke, I'm going to have me a taste of this lava cake here. Yeah, man. I swear it's crazy. It's been tough, Galaxy. My wife's doing really good in her recovery, but yeah, I got sick. I had a fever for a couple days, then a sore throat, runny nose, can't taste anything. I haven't gotten tested for COVID, but I sure might. I sure might do that. There's Art, man. What's happening, cuz?
Hey, buddy.
I decided at the last minute I'm too bored to sit around and do nothing for the next 2 hours. Might as well be sick on here.
I hear you. Well, your symptoms don't sound good, man.
Nah.
That sounds pretty damn bad. You should probably talk to some people for sure.
I want to get one of them COVID tests. Make sure.
Yeah. Well, I hate to say it, but you really need to talk to the hospital and tell them what's going on too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I already told my wife she's got to get a hold of them, and I think she's all right actually, but we'll see. It's a bunch of headache, man.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Right at the wrong time, huh?
Yeah, I was gonna say, and then we're coming into an Arctic blast here, -8 and snowing like crazy out right now. They haven't even touched the roads, man. There's cars piled up all over the place. No, everybody's out trying to do shit and wrecking into each other. It's bad right now.
It sucks.
What's up, Jace?
Man, you sound like crap, dude. What's going on?
Oh, dude, I think I got COVID. I don't know. I can't taste or smell or anything, man. Even when my nose clears up. But I feel horrible. I feel horrible, man.
You got it, man.
Yeah, that's what happened to me when I got COVID. My just like what you said, your taste and smell goes. That first time I had COVID was the worst. I've only had it twice now, but yeah, that first time was terrible, man. I had a fever and chills that just wouldn't go away.
That's me. I like taking Tylenol for 2.5 days straight, and it would work for like a half hour. I'm thinking I can't take any more for 6 hours, and this shit already ain't working. What the hell, you know? And then I get in the shower and get under the covers, and it was bad, man. It was bad. And yeah, now I just feel perpetually snuffed out of any kind of smelling and tasting at the moment. I cooked bacon, trying to get something in my belly. Couldn't smell it. I made a pot of coffee. Couldn't smell it at all, dude. And I'm like freaking out over there trying to real hard, you know. But anyhow, my wife's the more important thing. She don't want her to get sick while she's recovering, you know. But she's doing really good, man. She's been using some of the cookies that Seed Person sent her to help her get some rest and relax. And I don't think she's touched the narcotics much at all, if any. I know that when she first come home, she was gooned out of her mind for a while, man. I had to help her into the house and stuff, but I got to give her credit, man. She hasn't been complaining. She's just been going through it, getting taken care of, doing everything the doctor said to keep on the path of good healing.
That's
so
great.
I wanted to tell everybody that. She sends her love.
Yeah, that's great news. That's great to hear. That probably makes it harder on you guys too, because you're trying to help her out, but you're sick and you're trying to watch being around her.
Yeah, man. I
Tricky.
mean, yeah, exactly. How do you? It's really been a. This is one of the problems in being an isolated fucker like me and not having any friends, real life friends, because I don't mess with a lot of people, and yeah, there's just no one to really rely on. I got a couple friends, but not for that capacity, you know.
Yeah, it's hard to get good friends anymore. I really don't have, true friends. I would say, someone that you can really, really count on. I mean, I got friends. Don't get me wrong, but like what you're talking about, someone you can
Yeah,
just call up.
someone you can call up with no questions asked. It's very rare. A few families, but cheers, Ice and I.
Cheers, everyone. Yeah,
Hey, Iceland.
Hey, it's fine.
with COVID, yeah, I just got over. Well, I had my teeth issues and COVID at the same. Well, whether it was COVID or bird flu or this new moon or whatever it is that's going around now, they're all the same, aren't they? Same symptoms: cold, sinuses, everything else.
Broke down. Yeah, I feel like someone beat me with a ball bat.
That's what you need, brother.
D3.
Yeah, get your vitamin D3. And if you can, get one with vitamin K2 in with it as well. Yeah, just max out a dose of that for a few days. Sort of like maybe double what the suggested dose is for the first couple of days, and just go down to the suggested dose, and that'll help you get rid of that quicker and help your symptoms.
Yeah, no, and that's awesome, Anova. Cheers to you, buddy. I appreciate that. I got a couple 4-wheel drives, man. I wanted to go out in it, but it's ice right now. I mean, it is solid sheets of ice out here. It's amazing what it looks like. If you look down the road, you can just see the glare from the top to the bottom, and every car that comes is like, oh shit, dude. And they was piled up down at the corner. Everyone that come, they all was biting it, dude. Yeah, if you was a skier, that's the time. This is good. But we let a few people trickle in here. Art, man, you got anything you want to show first, or should we go check out that array of Jasons?
I don't. Go ahead and take care of him. I don't even have my camera hooked up. I didn't think you'd be on, so I haven't really prepped.
Yeah, I didn't turn mine on either, but I want to show you guys our plants. They're doing really good now that we got this. I put the jacks on them, man. Whew, 2 days worth of growth, man, was amazing. I ain't seen growth like that around here in a month of Sundays.
More than that, I think, if you're talking Sundays. But yeah,
Yep, I'm just cruising along here. I put that I don't know if you can see it, I put that black tray in the bottom, so I got a solid tray down there now.
Nice.
And then I put a little drain there, so I got it draining down to my condensate pump down there. I had to run a bucket down here for my condensate pump because I had it going out the front, and it's so freaking cold out here it froze up my line. So now I got to do it the old-fashioned way. But hey, it's better than having to hand carry a saucer tray down the hallway full of nutrient water to dump it in your tub or your toilet.
you went the bucket route, huh? That's cool.
Yeah, that's better than shop vacuuming and all that, so I can handle that. But yeah, we're just cruising along here. I think I'm getting pretty close to up potting. I'm almost to the point where the humidity is kind of getting a little higher than I want in here. I got a lot of dirt, a lot of water through the CO2 bag in the back there.
They look good.
Yeah,
They do.
pretty healthy.
Got a lot of them, though. We talked about that
yeah.
earlier. You got a bunch of plants.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do a draft here in a minute and whittle out the weak ones because I can't keep this many. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I wish I could sext them first, but I don't know. We'll just have to see. I hate to up pot them and then have to toss them, but I mean, it is what it is. It's a deal with rigs.
Yep.
Yeah, it does feel like quite the waste, doesn't it? That's always one thing that sucks. Like I guess if it was a soil grow, it might be a little easier to swallow because you wouldn't at least lose, you could reuse your soil much easier than you can reuse your cocoa. but it does. It seems like a lot of fruitless effort for nothing. I wish there was a better way, man.
Yeah, and honestly, I mean, really, my setup I got here, I'm only comfortable with, I want to do it with 3 plants in each of my 2x4s now, so that's my goal moving forward. So I'll just have 6 in my main tents. I might keep a couple in here and then flower out a couple in these solo cups. I'll just have to see. I don't know if this little tent can handle that humidity with my little extractor fan, a little PC fan, whatever that thing is.
Hell, you'd be ready to top soon, huh?
Yeah, it's getting close. I got some on the 4th, I mean, I'm at 1, 2, 3. Yeah, working on the 4th note already on a lot of these.
When you say you want to, about protection, take that opportunity. Just take that top that you take off and throw it in a shot glass with some water, like you're taking a cutting, and just flip that. You should see with it, even if you've got just a node on there or whatever, in a few days, or I say a few days, within about a week of being in sort of like 10 hours of light or whatever, you'll see whether it's a male or a female. That's the way I would do it.
I think that's a good idea. I always thought it would take longer. I've never done it that way. I always thought you'd have to wait like 2-3 weeks, man. But even then, you could always cut them back. But
you said how many days after you flip it?
Yeah, on about a week, a week to 2 weeks. But you should see the pre-flower,
yeah,
or that point.
Yeah, kind of my goal moving forward is I'll take 8 plants and up pot them, so that'll leave me two to a little bit for leeway. You know what I mean? Like if I get a couple males, because I really need to keep 6. So if I don't up pot enough, then I'm kind of screwed. Well, not screwed. I mean, I could still run, 2 plants in 1 tent, but that's just, I don't know. It's just you can't make a plan. It's just shooting by your hip. Shooting up the hip.
See, this is good. Rolling Smoke in the chat says it works in 10 days for them. It takes 10 days to do that.
Yeah.
And then Anova says, I've tried it. He said it never got to work.
I'd add a little bit of bloom newts, just a couple of drops of something like a little liquid bloom or something like that. What you'd use for flowering. Just stick that in the water substrate. Just encourage it. Give it the hormone to say this is flowering time. This is what I want you to do. And I would imagine you should see results. And like I said, you got to keep that light tight and everything. Give it 8 to 10 hours. Make sure it's definitely sort of like, oh, this is flowering time.
Yeah, more than 12.
Less than 12. Yeah, you want just make sure it's just rob it of its light and everything. And
yep,
yeah,
that's a good idea. 8-10 hours a day.
Make sure it's not getting no light leaks, because that's another reason why someone say, oh, they tried it before. Maybe they just didn't have it tight in a tight enough sealed environment. Like you keep, because you think, oh, it's just a little clone, or I'm just wanting to see whether it flower or not. But unless you actually keep it light tight.
Rolling Smoke said they've been doing it that way for 40 years.
Yeah.
Oh wow, must be a good method.
Or it's either just flip the whole lot, wait till you see pre-flowers and just and reverse the lights back. You shouldn't have too much of an issue of a re-veg time. It should just knock a week onto it, I would imagine, just doing it that way.
Well, that's certainly an option there, because like I said, I like to find out as soon as I can what's going on here, which ones I'm keeping, which ones I'm not.
Well, I can tell you they all look pretty damn healthy, man. And I think they're gonna. I've seen you pushing them roots up. They're not quite as much as you want right yet, are they?
No, and I need to water them too. They're a little dry, so I'm just doing a little foliar right here. This is a kelp extract. Ew. And then I'll come back. Yeah,
look at you all fancy.
I had this left over from that first time I bought the Athena newts, and then I started running general hydroponics and didn't use it. I don't like mixing up nutrient lines, even if it's an additive. I try to stay to each brand. You just don't know what it's going to do.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time with that myself, Jace. Like, I don't know a lot about nutrients, but I'm sitting here looking at the numbers on these Jack nutrients. It just doesn't seem like right.
Well,
Hey,
the
this is
numbers seem
supposed
a little bit high.
yeah. No. Well, the numbers, I feel like so it's the same mix from the day one till the day until you harvest. You don't add any bloom additives. You don't do nothing. It's the same mix. It's just different EC. At least that's what I'm led to believe so far. I could be wrong.
Canna's
Oh,
the
wow.
same. If you grow with canna, like they just have a can of cocoa, and it's the same nutrients for veg and bloom. You just adjust the ratios. Same
Yeah.
bottle.
Yeah.
But you say the ratios don't change at all. It's the same milliliters per gallon, or I guess that's a dry, or a salt, isn't it?
It's a dry. There's 3 bags of dry. One of them's Epsom salt. Then you got part A and part B. That's it. That's the only thing you have to buy to get from seed to flower.
Yeah, you do have a mix of soluble traces you can buy. There's other things. There is a bloom that you can buy. They do have different extra things you can if you want to. But
Yeah, but
321, it's unnecessary unless you want to fine tune it and you're a connoisseur. Maybe you can work with it, but they do have
yeah,
other products. I'm just saying.
I'm not smart enough, Art Man, when it comes to the antagonizing nutrients and how some don't work well. And I just well that I mean it makes sense because GH has Cool Bloom. This is an extra added bloom nutrient that I don't use. I haven't used for a long time. I always had problems when I used it. I always had what I thought was CalMag deficiency, and I found that it was the antagonistic shit with CalMag. And as soon as I backed it off, they did much better for a long time. So it just feels weird. I guess maybe I'll be backing off one and putting another one on. It's taking a little bit of change. The plants really look good, but I know what you mean, Jace, about switching nutrients or mixing them. You know what I mean? That's what you were saying. You don't like mixing them, and that's smart.
Yeah, like using CalMag from one brand with your bloom nutrients or your veg nutrients from another brand. I mean, you think it's all the same, but look, I'd open my window there and all my plants would be dead. I don't want that.
That's one
That
thing.
cold bloom's some pretty potent stuff though. It was 0, 10, 10, but like the amount that they were calling to put in was pretty high too. So I can see why it was doing that. So I use
Yeah,
Athena has a PK booster. It's a 0.45, so it's about half the strength of that cool bloom.
you ought to see the dry base Cool Bloom from GH. They have a dry amendment Cool Bloom. It's like it's got 3 massive numbers, dude. I'm sure someone can look it up, but they sell, and I don't know what that's for. I believe it's more for amendment feeding, like in peat, say, you would mix it with your peat, and it would be like a sort of, or maybe a top dress or something. I just don't think it's made for specifically for. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
It's
Nutrients
probably
are tough.
flower booster, probably. Like the bud stacks or something back in the days where they're using a combination of super phosphate or potash and super phosphate combination. That's why the numbers are probably crazy high, like 65s and the like.
That's how that Moab was for Mad Farmer. At whatever Mother
Yeah.
of all bloom boosters or where it was. It's like 0.3252 or something like that, or 0.5232. I don't know, but it's freaking strong. Of course, I'm sure you use a lot less of it though. Hopefully.
It's around about one gram a gallon, or 1 gram, 1 gram a liter, 1 gram, something like that. But notice if you get that right at the right time, and your plant is one that will take it, God, that just whacks in the dank. You sort of like instant. You're like, whoa, where did all that dankiness come from?
It's the Moab.
Yeah, that's the you know, I do love the sulfur or the potash. You know, back in the days when I was using them, you know, I was creating all these sort of like combinations of mother of all blooms boosters and things like that. I was reading. I think it was probably Clackamas Coop back in the day. He was getting all these nutrient companies and just breaking down their products and putting homemade recipes up. And I was using a couple of them, but yeah, I love that. I love all that stuff. Actually, I've got to actually go back and do an old school grow where we just using back in the days off the stuff of, you know, like ingredients off the forums, whacking it all together, seeing how it rocks out. I reckon some of these new genetics all, because, you know, I used to have a problem with a lot of the old stuff. You could fry it, you know, it wouldn't take it. You know, you'd suffer as a consequence, and you'd be like, oh, some plants you could feed anything. But a lot of the stuff we got today, you can pretty much do what you want to them, and they'll take it. So I'm quite interested in how they'll take some of this mother of all bloom boosters, what we used back in the day. Give it a go. So I'll go on, don't I?
EC you using, Scott?
What's that?
What kind of EC you're running your jacks with?
Oh, I started out at, well, my water's 250. I was at 1490 total. But my plants are only on node 3 or 4, so they're real little, you know.
Yeah, I think I'm
That should
at
be okay.
1700 right now. I'm just about to mix a batch up.
I'm at 1490, which means I probably have about 1200 salinity in nutrients, and the rest is my tap water. They look
I keep
great, man.
mine are at 13 with jacks. Anymore, I tend to get a little tip burn. Plus, you know, I'm watering once an hour, 24/7. So my schedule is totally different than yours, so it wouldn't really apply.
Still, it's good to know. It's a base, something in the back of my mind.
I think that's pretty good at 13 though. But you may have to have more because you don't water near as much. I don't know how that works actually.
Well, the salinity will rise between fertigations. You know, usually my runoff salinity will be lowest at the time of fertigation because it's kind of getting a mini flush with the runoff, and then as soon as it stops dripping, you know, theoretically, boom, it starts to rise as it evaporates and gets consumed. Cheers, XYZ Vector. I missed the button. Hold on, Iceni. I need you to do that one more time. We let him in, and I hit the wrong button.
All right.
AC things to rise. In the morning, it can be 14 or 1500. So
Now I see him. Fish bones.
all right.
I might open up one of these up in a minute, and I'm going to punch a hole into one of these pots. I've got one of these. What do you call it? One of these. So I'm going to punch a hole in. I'm going to pick one. I'm going to see how. Because normally I don't go into these beds until I've got an established root system, because they don't take it when they're very small. So I'm going to try one of my ones at the end here. Actually, this one here, I think is a Great Hooley Cross Blood Diamonds. Looks like the strongest out of everything here. That just looks like the nicest one out of the bunch, actually. So I might just choose that one because it looks strong. So I'll punch a hole in here in a minute, and I'll pile it up. And I'm gonna, if that takes it, I might consider putting everything into the beds. But I'll give it a few days in here and see how it goes. If it just shrivels up and dies, I'll be like, yeah, I'm gonna have to pot them up into another pot before I come into the bed.
Oh, that's for sure. A good candidate.
We'll see. It's all, we'll see how it goes. Yeah, these, as you can see, this is all lush now. It's been fermenting here for quite a while. All the old cover crops coming in. Worms have just loaded them up with some goodies. Some of the old rice. That's not maggots. That's rice. That is. So don't worry about that.
Wondering, I was like, what? What?
Yeah, it's just
You got me.
It's just basmati rice there. Just having a little.
Yeah, you got me. There's
So
the worm. There he is.
Right. So what I've done there is I've got a couple of an avocado chopped in half with the rice and everything. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to encourage all the worms that are all in the bed to congregate into this area. So I'm free to sort of like when I now punch holes in here, the chances are I'm going to be chopping not as many worms as I would be if I didn't have done this and draw them all up into here. So that's I'm worm steering. I'm trying to steer all the worms into the middle so I don't harm as many as when I punch the hole in.
A worm wrangler.
Yeah,
worm steering.
Worm whisperer.
That's a good idea, though. I wouldn't have thought of that at all, but it makes sense.
I've always hated it. I used to do it by instead of using this, I would normally just go in with my hands and trying to not to damage as much, but that's just a horrible. And I end up just you can't be perfect, and I'm going to kill some anyway, and it's just a part of the course of they'll just end up being food anyway. Something else will come along and eat it, but yeah, I'm just gonna something like that. But I'll crack these open and grab one. I'll grab that grape Julie out in a bit.
Nice.
I'm just going to chill for a minute though and have another joint.
Sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, I think I'll need a break already. So I've done too much.
I gotcha.
After he's done, I can show mine if you want, Smart.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Okay, let me switch my camera.
He has to take a smoke break, and then we'll come back and see them carrot pots open. That's what I think of them as, carrots. They're like they can hold a whole carrot in there. There's Kitty. Dax. Kitty.
Okay. Well, let's see what we here. This is the Harlequin, the new mom. This is Flo's mom. I'm thinking about moving this one into the place where I harvest the next Harlequin. This is really a nice looking plant, and I'm getting low on Flo.
Right
Here
on.
we have a Harlequin clone ready to go. Looking good. Ooh, that's a little dry in there.
Nice words.
I keep my my spray bottle on the edge of the temperature or the heat mat. All right. Now we go into the main event, the center ring.
Oh, looks good, man.
This one here, let's see, what's the best angle? It really is a good angle. This one is the latest one I put in. The one in the back is at 6 weeks today, I believe. This one is 2 weeks after that. This one is 2 weeks after that one. But this one here has been vegging for a nice long time. So it's going to be much bigger than this one. But clone number 1 here, looking pretty good.
Oh, yeah. 3 different stages. That's cool.
It's different. I don't like doing it that way, honestly, because your light is, you have to change your light levels. But as you can see, these plants are not that radically different. I mean, they're only about 4 inches difference from the main mother over there
Right.
to these. So it's not making as much a difference on this run. If I did that with flow, I couldn't do it because the one would be a foot and a half, 2 foot taller.
Those are thick.
Got a slight leaf burn, not much. I wonder if I can zoom in on that. Oops.
It's just the
Wow.
tip, Art. It's just the tip.
I know. I just wondered if my GoPro would do it. That's all.
Well, I can see
No, I
it.
don't care. I do expect a little tip burn to back it off a little after that. You know, it's generally how I judge how much use is needed. So, but they seem to be doing pretty good. And this is all CBD stuff too. So the all medicine, sure, straight meds. And we're almost
Good.
out of the flour too. So the Harlequin flour that I have, we only got probably an eighth of an ounce left. So
Oh, wow. You're ready to
got a
be
little
up.
piece, so that's pretty cool. And slight, but I'm gonna do dry sift on this stuff, and I'm gonna do rosin because a joint of Harlequin with a rosin stripe down it is great medicine. It will stop a migraine like 3/4 of the time. I know you've heard me say that before, but I'm not a holistic kind of guy either. So, but everybody's happy.
That's right.
It's all done. Gotta pull that back up.
You got one folded up on you down there.
Yeah, see that. I put it up under the strog, but and that's another thing. None of these have even reached the second strog. So, and all the other ones from Amiaces, the Flow OGs, the Florentine, all those other ones, they broke this. You know, they were 6 inches above the strog. And this
Yeah.
plant was supposed to be 7 feet, according to the grow guide.
I remember you saying that. And you
Hey,
haven't
I'm
seen
glad
it
it
yet.
it's perfect. Honestly, it's great. Especially the canopy. It's pretty even across all 3 of them. So I'm pretty happy. So
Hell yeah.
it's good. And of course, this puppy here is making it all worthwhile. So it's working real good. Now the heat pump is on. So.
The
And I got
wise
my
and
second towel. I got some stickers and some seeds from tiles. Thank you, buddy. Looking good. Got all of them in here. All my favorite people. Well, most of them anyway. Somebody needs to send me some stickers. Somebody's watching there. I don't have that many. Anyway, that's what I got going, man.
looking good, Art, as usual.
Hell yeah.
All
Feels
dialed
pretty
in.
good. Be happy.
He's
Really
always
like
marching
it.
them in and marching them out. I like that you have the 2 separate spaces for that.
It feels pretty good.
I kind of start seeds and flower them in the same area everywhere around here. I kind of like.
Right.
I'd like to change that. I think.
I don't know. Tents are crazy. I don't know how to grow in tents, honestly. I'm having a hell of a time when I do anything in my tent in the back of the basement. Soil or hydro, honestly. I'm thinking about doing a crack key. Is that what it is?
Yeah, and the jar.
Little hydro. Because all I'm going to do, all I want is either pollen or seeds. If I can get pollen, I think I can grow it in a crack key and get pollen, can't I?
Yeah, you're just probably gonna have to re-up your water.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I was thinking maybe I don't know, a 2 liter, maybe a little bigger. I'm not sure. I was actually going to design another hydro system that I can pick up and just change the bottom of it real quick out and just set it back in. Because I can't, and then I could take the whole plant out and spray it because it's just too tight back in that area back to the other side of the old furnace. It's just too tight. But if I can move it out and bring it to the sink or wherever and spray or whatever I'm doing, it'd be nice. So you might see another system coming out.
Cracky's pretty cool, man. I seen a guy in Canada growing on his freaking back deck. He was growing vegetables and shit like that. It was the wildest thing. And they was growing up north.
Huh?
I haven't seen them around in a while, but look at that. These things are cool. I like these pots.
Yeah, I like how the roots, like it says, it just trains the roots to go straight down.
Yeah, they're all throughout, man. Makes it nice.
Ideally, I'd want to leave these in here for a bit more time and
Yeah.
maybe let them dry back a little bit more. But
Yep.
we'll see. We'll see how it goes. It's a little bit delicate. I'm just going to lay that there. I'll punch a hole in.
When we're done here, XYZ, we'll come check out your buttes.
Okay.
Never used one of those bulb planter things.
No, but it's cool as shit.
Yeah. Is it going to take too much soil out though, Heisenai, or
No.
it looks big? Okay. Well, you can fill it in anyway. I mean, it's not like you got a lot of soil.
Plus, he's got that nice light loamy stuff. You know, he's not talking clay. That shit'll go right back in. Oh, that's
Well, you can also use scoop that and fill in any side gaps. Oh, that's nice looking. Cheers.
Earth.
Beautiful.
Nice hole.
It just smells loamy, doesn't it? Smells earthy. Yeah. The one thing we're missing is the smell.
Smells like worm's ass.
It smells like
worm's ass.
Describe that. Describe that.
You are a wordsmith, not a wordsmith.
There's not much smell to it. Imagine lying on grass, out on a grass field, and that smell you get in sort of like the bit earthy and a bit of the green grass because you can see all the grass have got growing.
Oh yeah.
That's essentially what it just smells like. Just a bit of earthy and a bit of grass. There's no real smell. Considering there's a lot of fermentation and everything going on and whatnot, it doesn't smell.
Smells just like a worm's ass.
Double J said it. You're also to it. You've been digging in that same soil for a long time. But I know the smell you're talking about, and I like it.
It looks rich as hell.
And let me just tell you, worm's ass is a wonderful smell. That's exactly what it should smell like. Good.
Sounds like a good strain name, man. The next strain you get going, worm's ass.
Yeah. Oh, that one held together quite nicely.
Yeah. That just peels out of there quite nicely. So basically, I'm going to try and drop this down into there as much as possible. So obviously, I want to get as much stability on there as I can. So we'll see. Just gonna.
How far up the stem can you bury it? I don't know anything about that. I'm just curious.
All the way to them first two little silly leaves.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right up to the puddle-eatings, huh? All right.
Well, that's a perfect tool you got there. That just fit right in.
And I'll just grab this back.
That's perfect.
Really, I'll just bang the side of my 30 gallon and the walls of that hole will just now collapse all in around that.
Nothing's been packed in, so that's cool. Nice. Should be perfect. I predict it's going to do quite well.
We're back in the game over Josh and Castle.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Hey, did you keep that soil between your little shutdown there, or is that fresh new stuff?
No, I've had this soil. This is about 4 years now. I've been using the same soil.
Yeah.
But these are what I originally. These 4 black pots are what I originally started with about 4 years ago, and I actually put quality ingredients into it. Not like that one I made on the Smart Show, where I demonstrated you could just throw one together with stuff you've got about, because that is the principle of Korean natural farming. You use what you've got, and I just proved I could just grab a couple of cheap bags of soil and mix some worm castings and just add a few bits, and you're good. And I got a nice couple of plants out of that pot. then I just put it out in my yard. But this stuff has got, you know, I spent sort of a couple $100 on the soil with the amendments and the aeration. It's got the thick, the red sort of like 1 inch lava rocks in here, 30%. So these are just heavy, and I really wouldn't want to move them anyway. They don't shrink, they don't compact. If anything, like I said, I grow soil. Don't really have to add soil. It just expands because, you know, I'm chopping and dropping, and it all just, you know, just grows every time. Every time I harvest.
So is that new soil, or were you able to save your other soil? Because I know you had that inspection and you had to take everything out.
No, I left this in it. I left this in it.
Yeah, remember he told him it was a worm farm and shit.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
that's good.
Hey, he's been holding on to this soil since almost as long as I've known him.
Yeah,
4 years.
That's why I was asking. It's like you invest a lot in this soil. I mean, adding to it, you know, chopping and dropping and the worms and all that stuff. I figured you wouldn't want to just start with a blank slate.
No, definitely not. I mean, this has got better. You know, when I put this together, the first run I had on this was shit, and I was like, what the fuck, you know? I spent all this money, put all this stuff together, and I'm just not. And it just takes time. It's you know, and I did make an error when I put this all together. Admittedly, I forgot to check the pH, and I didn't add any lime. And when I got 1.5 rows into it, and I'm like, I've got to check it, and my pH was around about 5. So yeah, it took me about another 6 months to bring that back up to sort of like round about 6. Just gradually just adding, because you don't want to rapidly change your pH and stuff once it's been going. So just adding a little bit of lime every now and then, and just gradually bringing that up. And yeah, like I said, and from that point on, once I addressed my pH balance, every harvest I now get out of it is better than the last.
Okay.
There's, you know, it just improves and improves, and I don't know how well I'm going to get to a point where I don't see any more improvement. But every time now I harvest something out of here, I'm like, it's just automatic as well. Once I plant like this in here, I haven't really got to do anything apart from just adjust the light and water now, pretty much. And what I'll say anything. I mean, there's like, I ain't got to feed it, but I will do like a compost one, beneficial. You know what I use? I use this. So for the next, until this finishes, I'll be just adding this sort of every couple of weeks or so. Whenever I feel like I can be bothered, basically. But roughly around about every 2 weeks is the recommended. So yeah, every 2 weeks I'll just get a dose of the seaweed and the aminos and everything. But the worms and everything else are what's supplying the nutrients and the feeding. All the chopping and dropping the avocados is and like a worm bin, like that thing there. I've emptied it, emptied my trays. They're all in here. It's been dosed up with malted barley. There's rice on here. This is now going to grow a big old mycelium layer, and it will probably turn into a big cake of mycelium. And when this is done, in probably about a month, it's like an IMO. I'll break this up and just top dress this. Probably about the time the plants go into flower, this will get a top dressing of this, and that will just go around the base of all the plants that will be now going into front, transitioning, should I say?
Nice.
Yeah. So I'll give that a couple of days. I'll shut up now. Someone else can talk.
Some of that soil is amazing. It's like Illinois soil. It's some of the best in the world. Looks great.
Yeah,
Not
I wish,
Oklahoma. We got that red dirt here. It's shit.
I wish I could
Oh,
go
we
out.
got
Oh,
we got
No,
caliche out here.
farmland here is very expensive.
everything started, it all came from a bag originally. It was either stuff like the playground or BioBiz. I'm using an organic soil. These ones were a third peat, third aeration, and probably about 10% finished compost. Or what do you call it? A bag. Probably one bag of this to 2 bags of peat and the equivalent of lava rock. That's the base mix, and you do it once. So the understanding is, that was a little bit more expensive to set up than just buying some pots and a couple of bags of soil. But I haven't really had to spend anything, and I'm expecting to get 10, 20, however many years out of that one expenditure. And I just love the way of, it's natural, it's living soil, and I feel like, my wife says sometimes I treat the worms better than everybody else.
Oh, oh,
Well, maybe the
Oh.
worms do more for you than everybody else. I don't know.
I do treat the worms. They get avocados. Bought from the shop.
They get a tailored bed suit. Yeah. Hey, there's XYZ's grow. Those are doing good.
Yeah.
yeah, kind of. They're starting to do what I call the paddle. I'm pushing them too hard. You see, like on the back one, how that leaf is, the back leaf there is kind of angled up. It's actually twisted. I don't know if you guys can see that. See how the leaves are twisting?
Yes.
What's
I'm
your
sorry.
bar?
Dude, it's a freaking white out here, and I'm just hearing these people flying down the road, and they can't stop. Go ahead.
I'm pushing up 350 micromoles.
Okay.
It's a little bit, and I've let the tank get a little bit hot. It's about, it's open right now, so it's a nice 80 degrees, and it'll probably chill out. But I've been pushing about 85. It's making them grow quick, but I think I'm pushing them a bit too hard because, like I said, the leaves are trying to get away from the light, and they're not growing up; they're just growing out.
CO2? You get CO2?
No, these aren't getting any CO2 right now, and I think that's
maybe 85 is pushing the end of the limit. I think.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I tell you what, they look a lot hardier than mine though. We that's the same seeds, right, from New Year's Eve.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, those things look a lot harder, like the stalks and all that. You're using silica already?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Yeah, they
you
get
both in the same media.
He's not using any perlite.
Yeah, there's no perlite in my cocoa.
Well, that's interesting. Yours are, I don't know. What's the difference? Why is yours growing faster?
Well, I hate to say this, but it looks like XYZ's got a little more girth than mine do.
Well, he's also got more room in there too.
Yeah.
Well, no, I don't think that would matter though. I don't know. Yours are in. Well, once yours get transplanted from the solos, I'm sure they'll explode though. Like
they typically pop off once you get them in a new home.
Yeah, they
love them air pots. Them air pots, so I don't figure make them take off.
Well, that's probably it then. They do look good though.
I don't know what micromoles Jace is pushing. I know his temperatures are kind of close to mine, maybe a little bit colder, but not much.
I'm about 250 to 300 micromoles.
Yeah, I'm at 350 right now. I think it's
I think I'm about to turn mine up a little bit. That might help with my humidity a little bit too if I turn that up a little bit.
Oh, Jace, I know I like his fan action here. He's got a little bit of fan action. How's yours? Because that'll make the stalks a little thicker as well.
Yeah, I got a good jiggle going on mine.
Oh, okay. Okay. I just couldn't remember. I like that though, right? That's why that's a good level.
Yeah,
High enough
they're
to
they're
keep them
doing good.
moving.
Yeah, looking damn
Yeah.
good.
I think they'll do good.
I
How
think
much
they'll be.
longer you got before you put them in the 3 gallons?
Those are not. Those are number ones, which are 1 liters. Those aren't even 1 gallon pots. So you might be thinking they're a little bit bigger than they really are.
Oh, I meant like,
So,
are you going to up pot from there?
uh, I'm debating what I'm going to do with those. If I'm going to go for a 1 gallon, that sucks, or if I'm going to go straight to 3. Um, I have to take a look at the roots, see what they're doing to really decide that. And
Those
then
pots
I got my
open
other,
up, don't they?
yeah, yeah.
Don't,
They just
okay.
you unwrap them. So yeah, I could open a
Cool.
pot up really easily, and
Well,
it
don't
should
damage
stay
anything.
together.
Yeah.
No, you usually don't damage anything as long as you can like crack it and unwrap it a little bit, and then wrap it right back up without
And then
even
you put it
affecting it.
in the larger pot and then you fill around the edges. Is that how you're gonna do it, or?
Yeah. So when I pot these up, basically into 1 gallon, what's going to happen is it's maybe going to add maybe an inch total more cocoa all the way around, a little bit deeper. I usually just take the hole and dig the hole out, kind of like Iceni did, but get it really dug out. Then I drop in the thing, but I'll have a bunch of knurling on it, and then I just kind of pack dirt around it slowly.
Cool.
But
I wondered how that.
my last pot up I used these fabric bags that are like really thin, and you can just drop the whole bag to what you're potting up to, and then if you're gentle, it doesn't even really affect them. I wasn't gentle. I kind of packed it a little bit too hard, and I stunted my plants a little bit. So let's go over the next tent and see what's going on over there. Ooh.
Echo,
Feedback.